I should probably get water. Okay. I'm taking this astronomy class, and I wanted it. I thought it was gonna be about like space and stuff, but it's like I learned about space for maybe like 2 weeks of the class. The rest has just been physics, and
Oh, hell no.
yeah, it's been rough.
That's like math and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's not fun. What the heck? Will not switch profiles on Twitter? Okay. Well, I gotta do it on my phone. I'm just gonna tweet out the link and then we can start.
What is up with my...
No. All right. I think we're good to start. Yeah, I think we'll be fine to start now. The tough loss for Denver. It was weird. Like I don't think either team kind of deserved to win this. Both teams played really bad. Like neither team shot the ball efficiently. Neither team played. They didn't play good defense either.
I know, but
they just missed.
Make shots, yeah.
They just missed their shots. It's gonna be I don't know. This game kind of shows that the Nuggets probably needed to make one extra move at the deadline. Because in the fourth quarter, and I know that Monte Morris is out. I think if Monte Morris is healthy and in this game, Denver wins. But it's just a weird game overall. I mean, like to me, this loss is on Jokic. Like he just did not play well. Like I don't know if there's any other way to describe it, but he just he shot so many threes, and I didn't get it. I didn't understand why he shot so many threes.
Yeah, I don't know either. I wouldn't necessarily say it's Jokic's fault. Like he did finally start shooting in the second half.
Yeah, it was just like he seemed extremely passive, and he had 9 turnovers too.
I know,
but it obviously didn't help.
It was clearly better when he was on the court.
Yeah. The team was still extremely good when he was on the court. They were +3.
Yeah.
When he played, but
yeah, I mean he missed bunnies too at the rim.
He missed a lot of bunnies. Like the Celtics play good defense. They have a good defense in general. Like since the turn of the calendar, since 2022 has started, the Celtics have been they have the best net rating in the league. They have the best point differential. They've been a legitimately good team after they started the season really rough. So I think it's not a bad loss to lose as them, obviously. Malone said in a press conference, he said, I should have gotten Bones back in the game. Nothing against Facu. He had a good game, but yeah, at least
that's obvious.
That's the other thing I guess both of us wanted to talk about. Campazzo played the whole fourth quarter, and we talked about this on an earlier live stream. For whatever reason, anytime Facu closes, he will get the entirety of the fourth quarter and also his stint in the third.
Yeah. I mean, he played 15 minutes straight, maybe even more.
It doesn't make any sense.
And he actually played pretty well.
I thought he played
Um,
okay today. Yeah,
yeah,
like
I
I
mean
did like
when he's hitting his shots, yeah, but I
yeah
mean he still gets, he got exposed on the defensive end. Derek White just went right over the top of him for
yeah
an and one. That was clutch. And yeah, I mean, like, speaking of Derek White, it is tough to see him,
yeah.
like, I don't know, dude. The Nuggets probably should have. I don't know who, like, what they
I
would have
mean
traded,
the
but
package for White was Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford, and a
yeah, that's what I'm
round pick.
saying. Like,
And the Nuggets, I guess, like equivalent of that would be Will Barton, Faku, I guess, and a first. I would have done it in a heartbeat. I was begging that the Nuggets would have traded Will Barton and a salary filler for Derek White.
but I mean, I don't. Barton is better than Richardson.
Barton is better than Richardson, like by far. Derek White, in terms of fit for the Nuggets, he fits perfectly. He also fits
Yeah.
perfectly with the Celtics, clearly. Like he closed with his first game. He wasn't active until like 10 minutes before the game started. And he closed. He played really well. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, which is like 37%. Pretty good. But no, hold on. What is 3 of 7?
That's like 40. I don't know.
43%.
Mm-hmm.
And he shoots 31% on the season.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be able to get 38 to 40 something percent from 3 from Derek White, I mean that is the best case scenario because his defense is so good. He's able to attack the rim. He's a good finisher. If you're able to get him to shoot well, I mean that's the perfect complement player to guys like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and you really saw that fit worked extremely well. So that was tough to watch.
Yeah.
Knowing that Denver might have a chance.
It's the first time I've been like frustrated, I think, with a loss really this season. I don't know. Like, I mean, probably not. And it's right after the game too, but
yeah,
like it's hard to be frustrated when Murray and Porter and Morris are out, but this is a game they should have won.
Yeah, this is definitely a game Denver should have won.
When you get Jason Tatum and or whatever his name is, yeah, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, like shooting, like throwing up brick after brick after brick. It's just tough to know that we lost to a team where their 2 best players were horrendous.
Yeah, Jason Tatum, he finished with 24, but he shot 8 of 19 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3. Aaron Gordon did a tremendous job on him.
Yeah, he did.
And I'm pretty sure Will Barton was guarding Jaylen Brown, and he did a tremendous job on Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, 4 of 17, all of 6
this is
3.
Jaylen Brown like has these like games sometimes where like he's just inconsistent game to game. Like he'll have nights where he makes like 5 of like 8 from 3 and is like unstoppable, and then he has these nights where he just keeps chucking shot after shot after shot. I'm like, like I'm not even a Celtics fan. I'm like, please just stop shooting, because he has those nights where like he goes like, I remember he went like 0 for 11 from 3 one game in the playoffs. I think it was the bubble or something. I remember he went 0 for 11 from 3. I'm like, dude, relax on the 3.
Yeah. He is I don't want to say shot chucker, because I mean he is like normally he's pretty efficient, but he does have these games where it's just like nothing seems to fall for him. But he did still have a very positive impact on the game. Like you could tell defensively he was making life really tough on Will Barton down closer to the game. The Celtics, they're turning out to be a pretty dangerous team. Like to me, like I don't know how this team is going to work in the playoffs, but if you have a closing lineup, they still don't have a point guard. That is the biggest thing. I mean, Derek White, he's listed as a point guard, but he's a 2. Marcus Smart is listed as a point guard, but he's more of a 2 as well. But like a closing lineup of Marcus Smart, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Robert Williams. I mean, defensively, that is tough. I mean, you have White and Smart you saw it in this game too. I mean, Denver couldn't get anything going late in the game. Anything. I mean, it was just Jokic posting up and trying to get something going, but they just kept doubling and doubling because I mean, Faku was in, so they could double as much as they wanted. But man, like that Celtics, I don't think there's any shame in losing to the Celtics. However, there is shame in losing the way that they did. Yeah, exactly. They should have won. They definitely should have won.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the turnovers. Like we can point to we haven't even talked about it. The stupid I have no idea what
The
happened
last
with
call. Oh my god.
Campazzo and Smart. I mean, it wasn't even a foul on Campazzo, and then
Yeah, I
Smart pushes Campazzo and slaps him in the face as he's falling down.
yeah, and they
And
call
you
it a
just say
natural
it's just
basketball move.
yeah. I mean, it's not. It's a flagrant. Obviously,
Yeah,
like the Celtics announcers. I was watching on NBA TV. The Celtics announcers were saying like it's probably going to be a technical. I'm like, how's that only? It's a flagrant one.
yeah.
Like,
He like two arms shut. It wasn't even that he didn't like. He extended his arms too. Like it was.
yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how he didn't.
And I mean, it is pretty. That's like a 4-point swing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but the fact that you're even in a 4-point game when you were dominating the first half and
Mm-hmm.
the third quarter, you were up like 88-81 with like 2 minutes left. And then like you couldn't even, you couldn't even like score after that.
Yeah, the bench, the beginning of the third quarter, the starters sucked horribly.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, ironically, the bench kind of saved the Nuggets to end the third quarter. But then to start the fourth quarter, the bench, once again, I mean, they couldn't get anything going offensively. Bryn Forbes had a tough game. Defensively, he was getting hunted all night. Rivers, I mean, he really didn't do anything either. He also played good defense on Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Facu, I guess, is like the main point of this game. I mean, I don't understand closing with him over.
I mean, yeah,
Over Bones.
that's what I literally thought. Like, the reason we're gonna lose this game is because Campazzo's in over Bones, and it's not even like box score wise. Probably Campazzo looks good, but you just know like
Yeah,
it's the doubles that they send at Jokic because you know Campazzo can't shoot. Just getting exposed on that. Like he'll make nice steals and stuff like that, but then he'll also give up because he's just so short. It's like not like his fault, but it is
Yeah.
his fault
Yeah.
that he's in.
yeah.
I mean, you could just shoot right over the top of him. You can cut right over the top of him.
Mhm.
I have no idea.
Like, and offensively, like defensively, he obviously has a problem because he's short. But offensively, there was a possession in the first quarter where Marcus Smart legitimately did not look at Campazzo the entire possession.
Yeah.
Jokic was trying to get the ball at the top of the key. Facu was in the opposite corner, and he was guarding Jokic. And Facu was just wide open, and they know that they can give him the ball and nothing's gonna happen. And he scored on the possession because he cut to the rim and he got a layup. But plays like that are why he shouldn't be playing. And I understand depth wise, like you kind of have to play him. But I mean, in closing lineups, teams are like you're just gonna sag off of him because you're gonna live with him shooting threes. I mean, he shot 3 for 6 tonight, but he shoots 33% for his career. He's not gonna make 3 for 6 every single night. You're gonna take him shooting those. If you take six a game, he's gonna realistically gonna make 2 instead of 3 or 1 instead of 3. So. Mm-hmm. It's those types of plays and like situations that are his problem.
And it's not even like Bones played well. Like usually Malone will take Bones out of the game when he doesn't play well, and then he'll never put him in. It's not like he didn't play well. I thought he played
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pushing the ball up super quickly.
Yeah.
Just getting the offense in a rhythm fast.
And he had a couple of really nice plays in the first half, especially defensively. I thought in the first half he was really good. He had 3 fouls in the first half. But I mean, and Marcus Smart, I mean, he's a physical player just by his nature. So he's gonna, a guy like Bones, his stature, he's gonna try and take advantage of that. And he did. Marcus Smart got him a couple times in the post, but I thought on the perimeter, Bones did a good job of staying in front. I thought Bones did a good job initiating the offense. I thought he did a good job spacing. He got into the paint. His mid-range jump shot is extremely smooth. I think he has to do that much more. It's not a lost art, but for a guy like him, I mean, every single time that he's been in the game, all he does is he shoots threes and he cuts to the rim and he passes. But if he adds that third level, that mid-range shot, it's going to open up so much more. And he's been doing that the last couple of games, and it's been it's been working. So I don't know. Malone said it, like I mentioned it. He said he should have gotten Bones back in the game. But I mean, every time he closes with Facu, Malone says something like that. He'll say that
It's just
I don't know.
Malone had chances too. Like
Yeah.
when Jokic came back in, you could have brought Jokic and Bones back in, and there were multiple timeouts and everything where like TV timeouts where it's like coming out of this TV timeout, you better put Bones. I don't know. He's just so like hindsight when it's obvious during the game that you need to put him in. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, man.
It's very weird. Malone has these players. I mean, it was like, Jamal's rookie year was Jameer Nelson. He would play Jameer Nelson over him a lot. The season after that, I don't think it was really anybody. But then in 18-19, it was Torrey Craig and Trey Lyles. In 2020, the bubble season, it was definitely Torrey Craig. He was playing over Michael Porter Jr. a lot. And then last year it was Facu, and this year once again it's Facu. He will attach these players who give him hustle and like good energy on defense, because that's what he is. That's the coach that Malone is. He loves that. But unfortunately, these players on offense, or they just have their own shortcomings that they can't exactly control. Like, I mean, Torrey Craig was just not a good shooter. He never was a good shooter. And Facu is just short. And at the NBA level, he's not going to be good on offense. So it's tough. It's tough. So I you can't really take too much from this game. Once Monte comes back, I pray Facu goes out of the rotation. I'm still pleading for Davon Reed minutes.
Oh my God.
Over Austin Rivers. I don't like Rivers played good today. Defensively, he did his job and more. I mean, he absolutely clamped up on Jaylen Brown, but Davon Reed, in terms of shooting, he provides more spacing. He's a smart player. He's better defensively. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that we can still critique about it.
Yeah. Jokic, by the way, I noticed, when was it? I think it was when he might have been the third quarter. I feel like it was when he checked in for the fourth. It was super deliberate. He took 3 straight shots. When he hadn't, it must have been the third quarter because he wasn't shooting the entire game. And he took 3 straight shots coming out of the timeout. Like, I bet Malone definitely told him like shoot.
Yeah.
And started jacking up threes.
Yeah. I like that he was aggressive with the ball in terms of shooting. I just don't like the method that he had. I mean, he's a good 3-point shooter, but he's not. He cannot take 10 attempts. You just can't, especially when you're not shooting well. So
yeah, I mean, he sometimes has these games where his shot is off, and you can tell at the free throw line too.
Yeah,
and he missed 2 free throws today. I mean, when his free throw's not falling, usually his three's not falling.
Yeah,
and then it just leads to, I don't know. He is missing a lot of short bunnies too, right over the head of
and honestly, credit to Rob Williams. He played Jokic pretty well. Like, I mean, these are the shots that Jokic makes regularly are shots that almost every other center in the league, aside from Joel Embiid, is going to miss, like, because of just how contested they are and how, like Jokic just makes tough shots over good defense. That's just that's how good he is. Today is just one of those games where good defense was good defense, and it actually affected his shot. So yeah, and there's a lot to dissect from the game, but I don't know if there's enough to like take away in terms of.
I don't know. Jeff Green has been horrible.
Yeah, I am also starting to lean on the start either JaMychal Green or Zeke Naji next to him, because JaMychal Green next to Jokic has worked really well, I think.
And Zeke next to Jokic too.
Zeke next to Jokic has worked really well as well. So, and I think Zeke at this point is going to provide more than Jeff Green is. I think Jeff Green's age is finally starting to show up for the first time. You can tell he's not as explosive defensively. He's getting blown by every single time. He's not rebounding the ball well. He's not shooting the ball well. He's kind of reverting back to how he was early in the season, when he was bad on everything. So
yep.
we're just gonna have to get him to. I think playing him on the bench works because when he was off the bench, I was talking about this with some friends when I was watching the game. Um, Jokic, or when Jeff Green had COVID for that like 2-3 game span, he got like a week's rest. Then he came back. He came back off the bench. He played really well. Like he had one of the best stretches of his career. He was getting 20 points. He was shooting the three well. He was dunking on people, and like he was being used as a roll man in the pick and roll instead of being used as a floor spacer. So I think that if you bring him off the bench, you start giving him less minutes, you start giving him less of a role in terms of what he's supposed to do, and start using him more as a role man. I think that'll work a little better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Malone's going to change that.
Yeah, I think that definitely works better. Sorry, I know what you're talking about. That stretch of games, and like I feel like his dunking and stuff really like gave him more confidence, and his 3-point shooting went up. And now it's just, I mean, I don't even notice him. Like,
he's legitimately just like invisible on the court.
Like I can't name a single thing he did in this game. Like,
yeah,
I see his 7 points, but I remember maybe watching like 2 free throws. I don't remember anything else that Jeff Green did this game.
No, he definitely is starting to kind of regress after he had a good start. So
yeah,
I have to keep an eye on that. See if Malone changes anything.
I think there were too many Gordon threes.
He settled for jumpers a lot.
Yeah, and like contested ones too. That
he was.
I mean, he'll hit the open ones in the corner usually, but once he starts getting in, like once he starts shooting threes that aren't open and aren't in the corner, it's just rough.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he was doing there, but
I think I don't know if it was a strat. I mean, Denver shot 44 threes. Like that is a lot. That's way more than they normally shoot. So I don't know what.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the strategy was. That was a strategy. Then, I mean, I guess fine. But if you're gonna shoot a lot of threes, Jokic can't be the one also shooting threes because then you have nobody inside to rebound when they miss.
Yeah.
I'll have to figure it out. This is like Denver just has these games sometimes where they just play really dumb. And another thing,
annoying too, because the other team played bad too.
Yeah, the other team played really bad. But one of the things that I noticed as well is like every 50-50 ball went Boston's way. Like it was ridiculous. Every single bounce went their way. Like every like ticky-tack call went their way. And it was just like one of those games. Like it just extremely, extremely tough to win.
Yeah.
When you have that much stacked against you.
And I don't understand how this is like another interesting thing I think about like Jokic is like the first quarter and first halves, we really play really well. In the third quarter, we're one of the worst teams, and I don't understand it because Jokic is playing 10 minutes in the third quarter.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Why is a Jokic lineup in the third quarter? Why are they just so bad every game? They just can't score. Like, I need to really like kind of like jump in.
No, I mean the third and fourth quarter. I mean, we're by far the worst second half team in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, if we have a lead,
the fourth quarter is understandable because the bench is playing for half of it, and then you come in and you lose all momentum, and then Jokic just tries to play hero ball. But the third quarters, I just don't understand. Like the way you play in the first half, you would think with a Jokic lineup in the third quarter, you could really put your foot on their neck and just end the game right there.
Yeah.
And they never do. Like, rarely ever.
It's because Jokic always will start off. I think he'll start off the game trying to get everyone involved.
Yeah.
And then he'll work on his scoring.
Yeah. That's what it always.
And it was working in this game. I mean, he was turning the ball over a lot. But when he was making when the pass actually got there, I mean, it was the right pass. People were making threes. So he was doing that. But I think he tried to continue that into the third quarter instead of trying to get his own game going. Like he had the triple double, but that was like the most misleading stat line of the season because he did not play well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's this is a tough loss just because we could have won it, but at the same time, like when we're healthy, it'll happen. I guess one more piece of Nuggets news, and then
Yeah,
we'll
there you go.
get into the trade deadline, which is extremely crazy, very hectic last 48 hours. So I will talk about the Nuggets news that came out this morning, which gave a lot of optimism to Nuggets fans. So it was reported by Mike Singer in the Denver Post that both Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray are going to be cleared to play before the end of the regular season. We already knew that about Jamal Murray. We know Jamal Murray is going to come back at some point in the next 3 weeks, I would say. All-Star break is next Sunday, the 20th, is when the All-Star game is. So I would say that the 2 weeks following that is when you should probably keep an eye on Jamal Murray to come back. But Michael Porter Jr. is a little bit more of an unknown. You don't really know when he's coming back. But now at least we know he's going to be ready to play by the end of the regular season. It's just a matter of if we want him to play. If we're going to not rush him back, but put him in a position to play. So that is a huge sigh of relief for us. Just knowing that MPJ is going to be back that eases my conscience a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Jeff Green. Michael Porter replaces him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he'll hit the threes, hopefully. Start off the season rough, but clearly he was hurt. We'll see. It's still kind of nerve-wracking just knowing his
situation.
His back, yeah.
And then like I mean, to me, it's just like, what are the chances that it happens again? Like, to me, it's like, how does it happen again? But at the same time, I feel like that was what we were all thinking about this last surgery that he had. Like, what are the chances it happens again? So
I feel like the chances it happens again could. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it could be kind of likely. Like,
yeah, I mean, because from my understanding, the surgery that happened was like this November. The surgery he had was it was a cleanup of the surgery that he had earlier, and like something was tweaked.
Yeah.
So he had to get it better. But that was also what happened on his second surgery.
That's what I'm
so
saying.
It's like, what are the chances that two of his surgeries went wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So there probably just is something wrong with his back, and he probably won't be the same that he was in high school. But regardless, even if he is just used strictly as a floor spacer and a rebounder, he is going to be so helpful to this team. I mean, looking at his highlights last season and his rookie season, there were maybe like 5 total wide open looks that he got. Everything else is just contested, and he's still just rising up and shooting over. He's got to me, he's got the best looking jump shot in the league. He's got the most unguardable jump shot in the league because of how tall he is in his release point. So when he comes back, I will be fully on the Nuggets bandwagon for championship, because I'm
yeah, for sure.
And
I think both Jokic is, I think, kind of rare where I think his points are going to increase. I think every stat increases, maybe other than rebounds, when Murray and Porter come back. Just with the way that I mean, you can't double off a Porter. You can't double off a Murray.
Yeah, that's true.
And when that happens, Jokic is going to score in the post, I think, more. And obviously the Murray-Jokic pick and roll that is so famous and so unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Jokic's points go. I think his efficiency goes up somehow.
I think his efficiency is going to go up because he's going to get so much more space to just operate.
Yeah.
And
then obviously I think his assists go up because you got 2 great shooters coming back too.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
and I think his points are going to go down a little bit. I don't think he's actually going to average less points when they're here. I think he's still going to be around 26, 27 a game. But his average is going to go down because there's going to be a couple games where he will just not try and score and just try and get Murray and MPJ as in rhythm as he can. Like he did it last year when Gordon came. He did it when Millsap signed. He'll just do that sometimes. Like if he knows somebody has to get in rhythm, he will sacrifice his own shots for them and it's like extremely unselfish, and it's what the reason why he's the best player in the league, but also it's extremely annoying for us because we know that he should just shoot it instead. Um, so yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. So counting down the days until Jamal comes back, because that is when I'm going to be so excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully it's during our spring break, because if he is coming back in a game during our spring break, I'm going.
That would be fun.
I'm selling my car for tickets for that game.
I know, right? I hope the Suns and the Nuggets play a series.
I hope they do. I don't know. The Suns are like legit good.
I think
fully healthy and ramped up, that would be an extremely fun series to watch.
I still think even when we're fully healthy, I think the Suns are better. To be honest,
the way that they're playing right
now. There's so many pieces to that team. They can score at all three levels efficient. Every player, like most teams, like have like a dumb player sometimes. Like they just do. Yeah, I mean weakling, or they just make like dumb plays. I mean the Nuggets have had those players.
Mm-hmm.
The Sun, everyone's just like smart. They just make all the right
decisions
on the Suns.
Yeah, the Suns have
they have a better. I'm still concerned with the Nuggets defense. I think specifically like pick and roll defense, even with with CP3 and Ayton. I think that could still probably hurt us a lot. But I mean, just the firepower the Nuggets have when Murray and Porter come back. Not to mention you have the best player in the league. Like that can definitely win you a series, but man, the Suns are so solid.
They are legitimately. They beat the Bucks by 20 last night, and like the second half, I mean, it wasn't even close.
Yeah,
it was. They're impressive. Like legitimately, this is by far the best team Chris Paul has ever had. Obviously the best team Devin Booker and Ayton have ever had, but for Chris Paul to have this good of a team and be playing as well as he has, like as efficiently and turnover free. I mean, he had 20 assists last night with one turnover.
Yeah, it feels like every game is like that.
That's unbelievable. He is, as much as we don't like watching him play, the way that he is able to manipulate the defense with his passing is just unbelievable. Like
I mean, we'll see if the Suns like don't win the finals. CP3 is probably like
that his legacy is in the dump,
tarnished.
His legacy is absolutely in the dump. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on the Suns because they're legitimate. They're the only team that I'm worried about. Then when Nuggets are fully healthy, is Phoenix, because I think in the East, I think we can beat every single team, fully healthy. I think the Bucks would scare me, but I mean. Yeah, we have owned the Bucks the last few seasons. I know a postseason series, especially the finals, is where we would play them, is completely different. But I mean, we just match up so well with them because of how they don't like Giannis is their center technically, and Jokic is ours, but they don't want Giannis guarding Jokic, so Jokic is automatically just going to have a dominant game.
And the Nuggets have played Giannis pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
In really all the games.
Yeah.
Giannis hasn't had one of those like games he just had against the Lakers a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think the Suns are the main competition for every team. The Warriors, it's tough to like judge the Warriors.
It is tough to judge the Warriors. Like I don't know. I can't judge them until Draymond Green comes back. Because Draymond, Clay, and Steph still haven't played a game together. And Draymond's impact on that defense is ridiculous. I mean, the Knicks last night were getting whatever they wanted against them. And that, like the Knicks, like Julius Randle was dominating. Alec Burks had a really good game. Like that team has issues that Draymond Green covers so many of them.
The thing about, I think what makes Jokic so special is like, I don't think any defense like ever will really slow down the Nuggets offense like that much. I mean, he's owned Rudy Gobert every single matchup. Like the offense has owned it on the Jazz too. It's like I just think he's just so good and so unstoppable to guard. That even if you do have Draymond with the Warriors, it's just so tough because he's not like a ISO like scorer that you can kind of just like clamp down or
Yeah,
whatever.
like
Like,
you can't double him and get like force the
yeah,
ball out of his hands
yeah,
because that's what he wants you to do.
I know. I mean, there's just no style of defense that
Yeah,
can really
like
slow.
the only reason why he's had a couple games this season where he's like struggled is because of the players around him and their inability to hit shots. Because then you can actually double, and then when he passes it out, there's no penalty on the defense because they're going to miss a shot or they're going to make the wrong choice. But when we're fully healthy and you double Jokic, I mean, you can't. Like, you just can't. Like, Will Barton has been good from three. Like, he's a 37, 38%er, close to 40. Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. are upwards of 40. Aaron Gordon's been like 35%, which is good for him. You put Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot and you have Barton and Murray and MPJ on the outside, who are you doubling off of? Like, who are you doubling? You double off Gordon, that's dunk. Double off MPJ, swing, three. The same thing for Barton and Murray. Like, there's no way that you can guard Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to hope he misses shots. That's the only way.
Yeah,
that's legitimately the only way you can stop him.
Well, if we want to move on to the trade deadline,
yes.
I mean, there is one. Yeah, Boston got a player that we definitely wanted.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll talk about the other deals. Let me just bring up all the deals.
Yeah, I'm like just trying to look through the games that happened. Oh, I am shocked that the Lakers didn't do anything.
I love that their fans are suffering. I know.
Like I love that they're gonna be in the dumps for a little bit. But like I'm shocked that they didn't just make a desperate move, but at the same time, I'm not shocked that they didn't because they don't have anybody to trade. Like,
I know, it's like
their trade assets is THT and that 2027 first round pick, and that's it. That is it. Like,
I mean, you look at
a lot of players are worth that.
Mm-hmm. You look at maybe like Alec Burks or something. Like I saw like they were trying to get like a fringe starter type of player, Schroeder, Alec Burks. But I mean, yeah, when you're the other team looking at the package that's coming in, like, how do you just say yes to that? Like,
like it has to be a 3 or 4 team trade where you actually get something in return for these players.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I like there was some trades that the Lakers would have gotten Cam Reddish and Alec Burks, and they only would have given up like THT, Kendrick Nunn, and a first round pick. And I'm like, are you like what? Why would the Knicks do that?
Yeah, I don't know. But I got this article. If we want, I'll just like scroll through.
Yeah.
So there's a Porzingis deal to Washington.
That one.
What do you think about it?
That one shocked me. I did not expect that to happen. Dallas is like, I understand what Dallas is trying to do. They're trying to free up cap space because immediately after that they signed Dorian Finney-Smith to an extension, which is well deserved. Because he's really key to that team defensively. But I don't know what they were doing getting the contracts back that they did because they got rid of Porzingis' deal, which was huge. But then they take back 2 big ones on their own. They take back Bertans, who might have the worst deal in the NBA right now, and Dinwiddie, who's owed $60 million over the next 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, what that signals is that they're not re-signing Jalen Brunson in the offseason, and they're okay with just having Dinwiddie and Luka. And to me, that is the absolute wrong choice.
Yeah, I mean, this is just what the Mavericks have really been with Luka. It's just questionable decision, I think, after questionable decision with Mark Cuban. It's like, this is your 4th year with a top 5 probably NBA player in the league who's playing like it right now. And you're in a big market with a huge fan base. You're in Dallas, freaking Texas, and you can't get like just someone to compliment Luka. Like you try with Porzingis, but I don't know. Like I would have loved to see him get like McCollum or or another guy on the Wizards, Bradley Beal. I mean, that's probably
Mhm.
hard to trade, but like
Some, yeah,
maybe you're trying to just completely make this Luka's team. Just it's Luka, and then you surround him with shooters like Bertan, but Bertan's is shooting like 31% from three
yeah. He's
this
not
year.
having a good season.
Like they got rid of Seth Curry
Seth
a
Curry.
couple years ago. Um, they had I don't know. It's just I feel like they need like another guy who can go and get a bucket. Like Tim Hardaway can sometimes, but like not really off the dribble.
Mhm.
Like he's more of a catch and shoot guy. Like you needed like a McCollum, like a scorer
Exactly.
to complement Luca. And yeah,
I mean, like
I don't know.
Dinwiddie at his best, I think can do that.
Yeah,
But
but
this season, he has not shown any ability
he's
to be
shooting
able to do that.
37% from the field this season.
Yeah, and he's only averaging 12 a game. Like he's not having a good season. So like I don't know. And I'm pretty sure they gave up Maxi Kleber too.
Did they really?
I think they did. Does it say in that article?
They didn't. They gave
They
up
did.
a second round pick.
Okay. I swear I saw Maxi Kleber in there somewhere. Maybe it was another trade. Um, but I mean, if like that, it just didn't make any sense. Like I understand why to offload Porzingis' contract,
But
but
you
you could
just
have
get back
gotten
the worst contract in the NBA.
yeah, you took back two even worse ones. So like I really don't understand what they were doing.
I mean, you're just getting like a Walmart version of Porzingis, and then a backup point guard who, I don't know, maybe he start whatever, but like you already have a great one in Brunson who's better
Yeah.
than Dinwiddie, and you could have just paid Brunson in the offseason. And
Yeah. So I really don't know.
it just
that.
really like annoyed. It's Luka's you haven't been able to get a score in 4 years. Like,
Yeah. I mean, to me, Seth Curry was like that perfect compliment.
well, yeah.
And
they just get rid
they
of him.
traded him for Josh Richardson, who they traded to Boston for like pennies. I mean, they didn't get anything back for him. So they've made some really puzzling ones. This one is the most puzzling. Like I really I don't know what they were doing. And if anything, you hold on to Porzingis' deal for this season, and you try and do some type of sign and trade in the offseason for somebody, because I just it didn't make any sense. This trade did not make any sense to me.
Yeah,
like
I
for Washington, you get rid of two contracts, you take back a big one, but it's a risk that I think you're willing to take because Porzingis has shown the ability to be good. Hopefully, you're able to get him to stay healthy. You're able to get him to find his rhythm again, and if he can become the second star alongside Bradley Beal, I mean, why not? You might as well take the risk. What else do you have to lose?
Yeah.
So.
I have no idea. We'll see if Luka can like really like. I mean, he's been amazing, and if he can really like win a series or two, that would be impressive.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Obviously, the big one: Harden to Philly, Simmons to Brooklyn, and Seth Curry. I like this trade for both teams. I would say if I had to choose like a winner, I think I would say Brooklyn.
Yeah, me too.
I think just with Simmons, who was the second scorer on the Sixers last year, he won't even have to score a point in a game, and they'll win these games. Like if he could just be that defender, he can guard 1 through 5. He can be the playmaker. They haven't had a playmaker. I keep saying like the playmaker score thing. They haven't really. They've had 3 like scores.
Yeah.
And now you get a playmaker who doesn't have to score. You surround him with KD, Kyrie, who can get a bucket whenever they want. Seth Curry, Joe Harris, if he comes back, that is obviously great shooting. Patty Mills as well. Mm-hmm. And we also bring in Drummond, who's played decent this year.
Yeah. Like Brooklyn's biggest problem this season, I mean, it was depth. Like, yeah, you lose two of your biggest stars. I mean, Harden and Durant have been out for a bit. Like when Harden was with them, they were out for a while, but they didn't have anybody even remotely close to be able to take it up. I mean, they were starting Kessler, Edwards, and Blake Griffin in their spots, and it was not working. The LaMarcus Aldridge has been pretty good for them. Cam Thomas has started to ramp up his production, so he's looking like a steal. But they did not have anybody else to even like get close to that production. So when KD comes back fully healthy, if you're able to run, you can run a small ball lineup, like a legit small ball lineup that's going to be unstoppable on offense. Like you're going to have Kyrie, Patty Mills, Seth Curry, Ben Simmons, and Kevin Durant. I mean, who is stopping that?
Yeah,
Who is stopping that? Because there's nobody. I mean, Ben Simmons defensively, he's as versatile as any player in the NBA. I honestly thought he should have won Defensive Player of the Year last season. Like I was on that train. And I mean, I think a change of scenery will be good for him. He obviously wasn't happy in Philly, so. And I think being able to get Seth Curry and Drummond without having to give up Mills that's a phenomenal job by Sean Marks and Brooklyn.
Yeah,
like, they did it. Like being able to get a shooter without giving one up. I mean, they send Paul Millsap to Philly, and he wanted out too. I mean, he was unhappy with his role. So you get rid of two guys who didn't even want to be there for two exceptionally good depth pieces in Drummond and Curry, while keeping Mills, and then obviously you get Simmons. So,
yeah, I was kind of surprised, and I know they were trying to move these 2 first-round picks they got. I was kind of surprised Miles Turner didn't end up there, but
in Brooklyn,
yeah, in Brooklyn, yeah.
I mean, I think after I will talk about the Sabonis and Sacramento trade. After that trade, I think Indiana was content with keeping
That's true.
Turner around after getting Halliburton. So
yeah,
we'll talk about that one. But in terms of Harden and Philly, like that fit, I don't know if I like it as much as everyone else does.
Right.
So like obviously you'd run a pick and roll with Embiid and Harden. It's unstoppable. I mean, no one's going to stop that. But I'm more worried about a postseason setting with those two guys, because Joel Embiid, I'm counting out the 2020 postseason, the bubble run that they had when they got swept by Boston. I mean, he did all he could. It was very similar to Jokic against the Suns. Like, I mean, he did everything he could, but he didn't have his second star there. Tobias Harris sucked. Like, it was just, there was no shot they were winning that series anyway. But against Atlanta, Joel Embiid, I mean, he flat out choked.
Yep.
He flat out choked. And Harden has had a history of not performing in the postseason. And neither of these guys have been particularly durable the last 2 seasons. Joel Embiid never has. And Harden the last 2 seasons has broke down more than he ever has in his career. I think his age might starting to be catching up to him. So my main question mark with that buildup of the team is, are they going to be able to sustain their durability in the postseason? Like, are they both going to be available and play well in the playoffs, especially with Doc Rivers coaching, who is not the greatest of postseason guys. So that's just my question.
You can even go back to like 2018-19, where that team with Butler, Redick, Simmons, Harris, and Embiid, choked too.
I mean, he got clamped up by Marc Gasol. Like, he did not have a good series.
Yeah, that is 3 years ago.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He's a much better player now than he is. So,
however, that history in the postseason of him kind of underperforming, I guess, has.
And obviously the history is the same with Harden. So we'll see. It's still, I'm kind of, as a Nuggets fan, it's kind of exciting because hopefully Embiid's numbers go down.
I don't know. I think if anything, his MVP case might be. I don't think it'll be bolstered because obviously, I mean, you're adding James freaking Harden to your team.
It could go up with the record and stuff.
Like, they're probably gonna end up with like the 1 seed. Like, I'd be shocked if they don't end up as the 1 seed, because of just how stacked that starting lineup would be. So, yeah, I mean, also a really good job done by Daryl Morey. I mean, his guy was James Harden from the beginning. The second he got to Philly I'm going to get James Harden. He didn't get him last year at the deadline when Brooklyn traded for him. He's able to get him now for Ben Simmons, who, like, obviously he wasn't even playing there. So essentially you're giving up Seth Curry, Drummond, and 2 first-round picks that are not going to be that good for James Harden, who wants to stay in Philadelphia. You know he's going to resign. He already accepted his option. He's going to be here next season. You have confidence he's going to stay. Like, that's a good job by Daryl Morey to be able to get his guy. So, like I said, regular season-wise, I have no questions about the fit. I think Harden and Embiid can complement each other very well. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
In the playoff,
how
it's
it
tough.
work.
I think there is kind of a lack of shooters on this team.
Yeah.
Now with Curry out, like really, like you got Danny Green. He could really only make them from the corner, and I don't even think he's shooting that well.
He's not. He's not.
Uh,
He's been in and out with injuries too. But I
yeah,
mean, just regardless, he's not that.
Tobias Harris has played really well over the past like 10 games, but Thibault can't shoot. Really, like
Yeah.
maybe
I know Philly fans are not biggest fans of Korkmaz either. I mean, he's supposed to be a shooter, but he's not. He hasn't been good this season. So yeah, the shooting is definitely going to be a problem. But I mean, when you have Embiid and Harden, like that, it should not be a problem. Like that shouldn't be a problem. But in a postseason set, especially with how deep the Eastern Conference is this year, I mean, the 6 seed is like 2 games back of the 1 seed right now. So they're going to play a really good team in the second round, a team that could have had the 1 seed if a couple things had gone differently. So the second round matchups in the Eastern Conference are going to be impressive. I'm expecting Philly to make it to the second round because the play-in teams aren't that good. But it's good. It's going to be interesting to see how that works in the playoffs. But regular season wise, I mean, this is a great trade for both teams.
Yeah. All right. Third trade that they have here, like Montrezl Harrell to Charlotte. Yeah. Sure, whatever. Yeah. I don't really want to talk about it.
Charlotte. I mean, they needed a center that wasn't Mason Plumlee, so I mean,
no, that's true. But it's not like Charlotte's like whatever going anywhere.
Yeah.
Derek White to Boston. We already kind of talked about that. How mad we are as Nuggets fans.
Yeah.
This Marvin Bagley 4-team deal. I don't know. I mean, Ibaka goes to Milwaukee. I guess that's good for them.
That's good for them. Yeah.
All the other teams, I don't know. Maybe Marvin Bagley gets, good again.
Yeah, Detroit is kind of slowly building
they are
pretty decent core out there. I mean, Bagley's gonna be a free agent. I don't know what type of deal he's gonna get, but if he's able to show something that he was like some reason as to why he was the number 2 pick, Detroit's gonna have a really nice young core.
Mm-hmm. Torrey Craig to Phoenix, back in Phoenix. I mean, they just keep adding depth and depth and depth.
Yeah. This is a good trade for them. I wasn't mad that he went to Phoenix because I knew Phoenix was still going to be active at the deadline. I was mad that Jalen Smith, he went to Indiana and they were still shopping him in Indiana at the deadline when he got there. And I wanted Denver to trade for him really bad.
Yeah. I mean, the Pacers side of things, I think this is a great trade for Indiana, 100%. Even though they wanted to move Smith. Like, he's still a young player who
he's a young piece and you get a pick.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting how the guy the Suns passed on Halliburton and the guy they picked, Smith, are now with the Pacers.
They're not teammates. Yeah. No, Indiana, I think they had a home run of a trade deadline.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
PJ Dozier Bowl to Orlando.
I feel bad for PJ. That ACL
I know, dude.
Like reroute his career.
To be good, like
the ACL tear is going to reroute his. Hopefully, he gets a deal in the offseason because he's an NBA player.
Yeah, I mean, you trade Dozier and a Bowl and a second round pick for just a upcoming second round pick. Yeah. Like, NBA teams they're not high on Dozier at all.
I mean. To me, I'm like, why would you keep him on the roster if he has an ACL tear? Like, it makes sense. Hopefully he can get healthy because he's like a legit NBA player. I mean, like, if he was healthy for us, there was no doubt in my mind we would be much better. Like, he probably would be starting, honestly. Mm-hmm. So it's unfortunate injury luck. Hopefully he's able to get healthy though.
Yeah. Next trade, Theis to Boston, Schroeder to Houston.
Schroeder's probably going to get bought out.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised if he ends the season in Houston. So he's going to be coveted in the buyout market. Lakers are probably just going to get him back again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, now the Celtics don't have a point guard on the team.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess Pritchard, but. I mean, I guess it's good for them. I don't know.
Yeah, Boston. I like the trade for Boston because they need some center depth.
Yeah.
They're playing two bigs right now, so they're able to. I think they can like offload some of the load that Williams or Horford has, and
Yeah, they got rid of Cantor.
yeah.
Cantor is such a clown. Did you see that video you posted? Or is like, um, it was like mocking LeBron's China thing or whatever. He had LeBron kill him in this video because Cantor was saying something bad about China and LeBron was with like the Chinese whatever president guy, and LeBron killed Cantor with a gun. I'm like, okay, Ennis, relax there.
I don't know. It was so funny. There was it was announced that he was going to be like a speaker at some like some Republican GOP conference in Florida. And when you look at the dates, like the Celtics are on a road trip during that time. They're not even close to Florida. So it's like, wait, what? He's just going to leave? Like,
and he did.
They got traded and then cut. So
he's probably not. I don't know if he's going to get. I mean, just basketball wise, too. He sucks.
He's not good.
No. All right. Dragic and Thad Young to Toronto.
Dragic to Spurs.
Oh, wait. Why does it say
Thad Young to Toronto?
Oh, Dragic out. Thaddeus Young in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I like that for the Raptors. I think they needed some bench depth. Thaddeus Young is still very, very good.
Thaddeus Young, a very interesting guy. When I saw him at a hotel, he DoorDashed 7-Eleven. Bunch of snacks from 7-Eleven is what he got. That's why
maybe he's just craving it. That's a weird order.
I don't know. Kind of a classic Thad Young type of move, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, basketball wise, Raptors just get more depth, and the Spurs get a first round pick, which is.
Oh, really? They got a first?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's lottery protected, but the Raptors aren't going to be in the lottery.
Yeah, they're probably going to be in the playoffs. Wow, that's a really good deal for the Spurs. Dragic is going to get bought out.
I think the Spurs actually have been actually had a good trade deadline. Like the Richardson deal, I think looks bad, but they got
a first.
Yeah, so they've been stacking up these picks, really like building around Murray and Johnson.
Mm-hmm. And trading White opens up more playing time for Vassell and Primo.
Right. Yeah.
The two guys they want to build around too. So
yeah, Primo seems good too.
Yeah, he's so young, but he has a lot of talent.
Aaron Holiday to Phoenix, more depth.
There's more depth. Yeah.
Here's a Sabonis to Sacramento. Halliburton to Indiana. I mean, the Kings think they can like win a championship, I guess, this year.
Yeah, oh my God, I was literally like laying in my bed on, was it Tuesday when this trade happened? Wednesday or Tuesday, or maybe Monday. I don't know. I don't remember when it happened. But I was just laying in my bed, and I see the notification. I'm like, oh, Sabonis to the Kings, and then I see the package, and I'm like, what? Like they give up Halliburton for him?
Yeah. When I saw Halliburton get I'm like, Halliburton like is one of those guys where he should be like untouchable.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. I like, to me, as an outsider looking into the Kings, when I'm looking at their team and when I watch them play, without De'Aaron Fox and when it's Tyrese Halliburton running the show, he was averaging 19 and 10 in like 20 games without De'Aaron Fox, which is insane for a second-year player. Mm-hmm. And he was shooting really well from the field. He wasn't turning the ball over. He's shooting well from three. But like
So you're saying he's better than Fox?
I think that I don't know if he's better than Fox right now, but I think for the team, if you were able to trade Fox and get someone like Sabonis, it would have been way better.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. But I don't know, the Kings, in terms of them, like, I don't know. I know the fans were all also not happy. I think I was on the side of the fans. Like, in terms of, like, a win now move, Sacramento gets better. I think Sabonis he's only 25. He's a good player. We were talking about this after we recorded our podcast episode last night. Like, Sabonis is like a Jokic light. I mean, he puts up, like, 20, 10, and 5 on good efficiency and good defense. Like, he's a Jokic light. and you pair him with Fox. They looked really, really good last night in their first game together. I just think that if you were able to trade Fox and get someone like Sabonis and keep Halliburton because he's under team control and you can sign him to an extension after next season and you'll have him for 7 more years.
Yeah.
That would have been better than having Fox for another 4 and then Sabonis for like 2.5.
Dude, the Pacers lost this game.
Yeah,
I was about to say, like, you said like Sabonis and Fox played well. I was about to say Halliburton played well too, which he did, but I thought they won. Like,
they were dominating in the first half.
Yeah.
But yeah, they choked really hard. Karis LeVert,
yeah.
He's another, I guess, trade. I don't know if we talked about him earlier, but he's another guy who kind of went down at the deadline. He had 22. But yeah, Halliburton, I mean, 23 points, 6 assists, 9 of 15, 4 of 6 from the field, or 4 of 6 from 3. Mm-hmm. And that's with Goga Bitadze as his center.
Yeah.
Goga Bitadze and Jalen Smith. So, like, I feel like if you pair him up with a guy like Sabonis, it would have worked much better. And I think, obviously, Indiana doesn't take that deal unless they get Halliburton.
I wonder if they would have taken it with Fox. I wouldn't
have done it for Fox. Like Sacramento probably offered Fox and got they countered with Halliburton. They're just like, all right, screw it, we'll take it. But yeah, I didn't understand it from the Sacramento standpoint. I think they're just trying to go all in for a potential playoff push this year, and then retool it in the offseason and maybe make a playoff push and convince Sabonis to stay. But
I guess
I don't know. Yeah, I like a lot of people were acting like Sabonis was a scrub after this trade.
No. Yeah, I know.
Sabonis is good. Like he's a 2-time All-Star for a reason. Like he's led teams to the playoffs. He's been a number 1 guy on a playoff team. He's been a number 1 guy on a team that has home court advantage in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean when you look at their starting 5, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's just like it just doesn't make any sense to give up your future for like a year.
Yeah,
2 years of
it makes no sense. All right, Norman Powell and Rocco to the Clippers. The Blazers like wanted Eric Bledsoe and Keon Johnson.
Yeah, this was the Blazers. Like for a team that wanted to kind of retool, the Indiana had a home run of a trade deadline, and the Trailblazers they struck out completely. I don't know. What Woj reported is that they were trying to offload salary. Now they have $60 million in cap next year, so they're going to go after a star, but. I mean, Harden's not. He already said he's accepting his option, so he's not out there. So who is it? Who are you getting?
Yeah,
who are you going to sign with that money?
And you haven't gotten anyone in the past like 10 years.
Yeah, no one's going to sign with Portland. Nobody has signed with Portland. You're going to have to make a trade for somebody, but you just traded away your 2 most tradable assets for nothing.
Yeah, and with the Clippers, this just makes them even more dangerous.
Yeah,
once PG and Kawhi come back.
If they come back, but next year.
I mean, like next year.
Yeah, next year that team is. I think they're the favorite next year to win it all.
Yeah,
because I mean, last year already switchability wise, defensively, like they were unbelievable, and I mean, we saw it last season against Phoenix. Like Denver struggled so hard against the pick and roll, but the Clippers were actually able to kind of stifle it a little bit, and switch it and kill it. But you add Powell to that as a good defender and a really good off-ball shooter, and a guy who can create his own shot. Add him alongside Kawhi and PG, man, that's dangerous.
Yeah,
they didn't even give up anything either. That's the
I know
crazy part.
I know they gave up like Eric Bledsoe.
Yeah, and like on Portland's side of it, jeez, I mean you give up Gary Trent, and 2 first-round picks for Norman Powell and Rocco, and then you don't even get a first-round pick back for both of them combined. That's just a horrible deal.
But I love it. I love to see.
Yeah, it. They should have tanked.
Yeah,
after they lost to Denver, because I don't know how you don't look at that loss and like what. So,
Campazzo and Rivers. That's insane that you just
like Austin Rivers actually ended that franchise. Like that's hilarious.
I know.
That's the funniest thing like of all time. Austin Rivers.
All right, CJ McCollum to the Pelicans. I like this trade for the Pelicans. Mm-hmm. I think especially when you look at next year, you get Zion, you get BI, CJ, Valanciunas. I mean, that's a pretty solid team.
Yeah, it's really solid. Yeah.
They did give up quite a lot. I mean, you get Larry Nance too.
Yeah, the Larry Nance part of it was actually like huge. I think he just had surgery. He had surgery a couple weeks ago, so he's gonna be out for a bit. I don't know when he's coming back. But I mean, if they should be a play-in team. I think they're in the play-in right now. So hopefully Zion is able to come back for that play-in, and hopefully also have Nance. But like defensively, they're gonna suck. They're gonna stink. I mean, they already have. But like in terms of building around Zion, last year they did a horrible job because they had zero spacing with Bledsoe and Steven Adams. But now you add Valanciunas and CJ and Devontae Graham, and Brandon Ingram's been just as solid. Herbert Jones has been a absolute steal at the deadline or in the draft. So I really like the direction the Pelicans are going. David Griffin did a really good job.
Yeah. I'm surprised, I guess, that Josh Hart didn't get moved by the Blazers after this, because it seemed like he was like a hot commodity, and now he's just
he's another guy that I really would have liked the Nuggets to go after.
And now he's just rotting there. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I guess, could be a good player. He's struggled a lot this year.
But they traded him to Utah. So
they did. I forgot about that.
So I don't know. That Utah's bench is just good. It's him and Clarkson, which is just hilarious. It's like carbon copies of each other.
Yeah.
That bench is going to be
the Blazers get Hughes and Ingles.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I saw a picture
they did get what is this? 2 first round picks.
Portland did?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not
bad.
Yeah,
it's not. I'm looking at the protection, so it's protected numbers 1 through 4 and numbers 15 through 30. So, okay, well that's where the Pelicans are going to fit. They're not going to get one of those picks.
Pelicans. I think if the Pelicans make the playoffs, then they get that pick back.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if they
make the play-in and they lose, they're still lottery, so they'd get it then. Yeah, I don't. The protections on that are weird, but it's good that they got a couple firsts back at least.
LeVert to Cleveland. This was good. I think it was good for both sides. You get another first round pick for the Pacers. I mean, that's about it. But yeah, like LeVert coming off the bench seems good.
Yeah, he started today when he went back to Indy.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he played well. I think we may have talked about it. I don't know. Maybe it was off camera. I'm not 100% sure. But I really like LeVert off the bench, because if you have a starting lineup of you got Garland, all-star, Okoro, exceptional defender, and then Markkanen, Mobley, Allen, which that three big man lineup somehow has been working.
Yeah.
That's great. Like, that's a good starting lineup. In a postseason series, I don't know if it'll work because of Markkanen, but I mean, you can switch out Markkanen for LeVert, and that becomes, I think, even more dangerous offensively, and it'll give you more versatility on defense. But like Mobley, I love Mobley. I've been raving about him the entire season. He is just incredible. And Jared Allen, I think, should have been an all-star over Chris Middleton. So I love him. He had 22 and 14 tonight. Kevin Love has had a resurgence, so having him and LeVert off the bench. Rondo's been good the last few games. Cedi Osman has been good. So I love that deal for Cleveland, and for Indiana, like you said, getting the first back for LeVert is really good.
And the biggest trade of the day, the Miami Heat, the OKC Thunder. KZ Okpala to the I don't care about
he got waived today too.
Oh, he did.
He's got a second rounder for just nothing.
Yeah.
That was a hectic deadline. There was a lot of moves. And I saw a lot of Nuggets fans kind of disappointed, like, oh, why didn't they do anything? I mean, they did. They got Bryn Forbes. It just wasn't at the deadline, so nothing happened. And it's not
maybe you look at the buyout market. Hopefully Gary Harris gets bought out.
Hopefully, yeah. We saw that in class yesterday. Gary Harris, him and Denver could have mutual interest if he gets bought out. I saw a report today that some Nuggets reporters doubt he gets bought out because of how good he's been, like, leadership-wise for the young guards in Orlando. But I think it'd be kind of dumb if Orlando doesn't buy him out, because, I mean, you have so many young guys. Like, I don't know why you'd be wasting minutes with Gary Harris. I mean, he's good, but I don't he's a win now guy. What's the point of giving him minutes right now? So hopefully, hopefully he's available because I would love him back. But yeah, I mean, like they did make a move for Bryn Forbes, and it's not like Denver wasn't trying at the deadline because they were looking at trades. It's just they just couldn't get anything done.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the roster you're looking at, not the full one. Obviously, we talked about it. Jamal and MPJ are going to be back at some point, which is good. But yeah, it's deadline wise. I guess you could disappointment is a word that's going around the Nuggets land, but I'm fine with it. I'm 100% fine with it. Like honestly, I think if you're able to sign DeMarcus Cousins and you're able to get Gary Harris somehow, you'd have to open up another roster spot. So likely a guard. So I mean, Facu is the only guy that makes sense. So if you cut Facu and you get DeMarcus Cousins on a full contract, I like it. I mean, I would love that. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, I think that's all we got for today. Bit of a longer live stream, but there was a lot to talk about.
Solid episode though.
Yeah. We will probably talk to you guys Monday, maybe. I don't know. I think if the Nuggets play Monday, we could just live stream and talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because I know they don't play.
Do they play tomorrow, the Nuggets?
They do. They have back-to-back against Toronto, so we could also do that. What time do they play tomorrow? 5:30 again. Yeah. So they play in Toronto, and I think they just play Monday again. Yeah, they play Monday at 7, so we could just do a live stream and talk about the Super Bowl as well on that day instead of doing a podcast. So we'll see. We'll figure it out. But yeah, make sure to tune in tomorrow. Another live stream. We're talking about stuff. Hopefully Denver wins. Hopefully Jokic doesn't shoot 10 threes again. But yeah, Toronto's good, though. Toronto's like they're on an 9-game winning streak. And that is a scary, scary team. Yeah. We'll see. So thanks guys for watching. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.